This is Dr. Wang from Weber State University. In today's video, I am going to talk about the Ocean Etude, Opus 25, number 12. This is a very popular piece. I think for various reasons, but the main reason is that it has so many notes that it sounds so hard, but it's actually less difficult than it actually sounds, which is a really rare phenomenon in any of the Chopin etudes or any of the Chopin pieces. They sounded not as hard as, let's say, Liszt Hungarian Rhapsody, but they're actually much harder. So I categorize two types of piano composers. One that can write something sounds harder, Liszt, Rachmaninoff fall into that catalog, and the other like Chopin or Mozart or Beethoven. It doesn't sound that difficult to someone who is not piano major, but actually technically it's really very difficult. But however, this one is not the case. If we take a look at the score, the first impression would be, oh, this is about arpeggial playing, right? Broken chords. But then, because the left hand starts with C, right hand starts with E, they actually naturally formed the chord. We do not, individual hands, we do not play all three different notes, only two. So this is, if you think one more step deeper, this is really an etude of this octave formation of the hand. Okay, right. But then, how often do we miss an octave, right? The octave form is probably one of the most stable and frequently used formation of our hand position. So here, I'm really not worried about the octave, but this middle note, because it, like Opus 10 number 1, it changes into different intervals. 6, that's a 4th, so, and here, that's a 5th. So really the key thing is to remember from the middle note to the top. So this is what I recommend my students to practice. Because if you have the 2 and 4, sometimes the 3, if you have this formation very secure, then you're all set. And left hand the same. That's how you practice it. Okay? And surprisingly, this octave with one note in it, this formation doesn't change at all. The only thing it changes is sometimes you go up for an extra octave, which really, because it's all the same chords and same position, it really does not add any level of difficulty. Okay? The other thing that I have to pay attention to in the right hand is that most of the time the weight of our arm, the extension of the thumb, is the focus, right? This is where we want to put our weight upon. But then it changes to the pinky from measure 7 and 8. So we have, of course, I use a great deal of the elbow and then the wrist to help, but then the focus, the weight is really upon the right side. So mentally we have to make that quick switch. Okay? Musically speaking, we have to really draw the larger line. We have to somehow not look at individual notes very closely, but then we have to really zoom out and see the larger structure being. Right? You may ask, why do I have a diminuendo on measure 4? Because that's the resolution of the previous harmony. Right? So we cannot just focus on each note. It's really the larger picture is measure by measure. Okay? And speaking of this harmonic structure, something when I studied this really struck me is, I think, I don't know, I don't have proof, but I think it is true. This is really a homage to J.S. Bach. Because here, the famous Bach signature B flat, A, C, B being the initial, the number, the letters of his last name, we can find it from each first note of each measure. But wait, where is the B, the B natural now turned into E natural? It should be E, but here is E flat. It should be E natural. Wait until you reach measure 9 when this theme happens again. And here also we change from minor to major. It's really something ascending, something glorious. So I think here Chopin is really saying, now we have this full Bach name within my theme. And then the piece is lifted up. Okay, that's my belief, but I do think it's related. And later, in measure 31, he started a 4-bar sequence from here. Is really, or almost like the same thematic information, the same theme, but then varied in the order, almost foreshadowing what's coming in Schoenberg's theory. Okay. I think that's all I want to share about this piece. It's really not super difficult, but then it has very big effect. It's a great piece to end this whole set. And interestingly enough, it ends with C major. Almost like now the end becomes the beginning. Some really popular concepts in the Romantic era. Okay, I hope you like this theory or series of our Chopin etudes. And to be frankly, this is something really encouraged by my wife. She thought, oh, you have all of these ready and you teach them, why don't you make videos? And she's the one who pushed me very hard because I always had excuse, oh, I'm not ready with the lecture part, or I'm not ready with the performance part, but she just brought the equipment and started shooting and got me really started. And I think the majority of this after the first couple of episodes is really produced by myself, but she really made this happen. I will have one more episode on talking about the difficulty level of this all 24. I categorize them into different levels so that people who want to start learning Chopin Etudes knows which to start, because of course these are art pieces. You don't go from number 1 and having number 2 harder. It doesn't work that way. So I will have one more episode to conclude this series. But then I will keep producing teaching videos, performance videos, and also I will talk about pieces, I will talk about composers, and I will talk about myself and the profession in the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.